The case filed by MP Mangala Samaraweera against the chairman of the Capital Maharaja Organization Limited in the Mathura Magistrates Court was dismissed today.
The case was taken up before Mathura Additional Magistrate Mangala Samaraweera yesterday.
On the 25th of November, the Mathura Additional Magistrate ordered that the chairman of the Capital Maharaja Organization Limited be present in court yesterday after considering a personal complaint lodged by MP Mangala Samaraweera citing Section 81 of the Code of Criminal Procedures Act number 15 of 1979. Subsequently, a motion was filed in court on behalf of the chairman of the Capital Maharaja Organization Limited. After considering the motion on the 5th of December, Mathura Additional Magistrate Manjula Karnaratna noted that the presence of the chairman of the Capital Maharaja Organization in court on the 11th of this month was not required and that representation by legal counsel would be sufficient. When the case was taken up yesterday, President's Counsel Riyansi Alsakularatna, appearing on behalf of the chairman of the Capital Maharaja Organization Limited, pointed out that the Capital Maharaja Organization is a legal entity. Thereby, the case filed by Mangala Samaraweera against the chairman of the Capital Maharaja Organization Limited was dismissed by the Mathura Additional Magistrate Manjula Karnaratna. President's Counsel Riyansi Alsakularatna, with attorneys at law G.G. Arul Prakasam, U.R. De Silva, Nalinda Indrathissa, Vasanta Batagoda, Susara Dinal De Silva, Vishwa Dilivera Tennapon, Niranjan Arul Prakasam, and Nadi Sarat Chandra appeared for the respondent on the instruction of attorney at law Ramya Chandra Gunasekara. Attorney at law Nishankar Nanakara appeared on behalf of the plaintiff.
Just to take the bottom line of the story again, the case filed by MP Mangala Samaraweera against the chairman of the Capital Maharaja Organization Limited in the Mathura Magistrates Court was dismissed yesterday. Now the case was taken up before Mathura Additional Magistrate Manjula Karnaratna yesterday.
The importance of protecting media freedom was emphasized at several events held today.
Yesterday, we witnessed an independent court in the country granting a historic verdict on behalf of media freedom. We consider the verdict that was given yesterday as a resounding victory for media freedom in the country. The policy of the United National Party is to ensure the right to information and establish a free media in the country. No matter who criticizes, no matter what anyone says, the public representative appointed by the people's mandate must understand the truth, bear allegations that are leveled and engage in a political journey by correcting one's mistakes. I wish the Citizen Media Network the strength to reveal the various malpractices taking place in the country, corruption, threats, thefts, mistakes and illegal activities that are taking place so that the truth prevails. I also hope that those calling themselves leaders of the country avoid politics that have double standards and instead have the knowledge to protect media freedom. I also extend my gratitude to the free and independent court that granted this great verdict.
මගේ ශීර්ෂ ප්‍රණාමය මම මේ අවස්ථාවේ පුද කර සිටිනවා.
මංගල සමරවීර
The case filed by Mangala Samaraweera affects all media channels.
බලපානවා. මංගල සමරවීර මෙතුමාට මහා පිස්සුවක් ගැහුවා.
Never allow media freedom to perish. He first destroyed the United National Front and now he is destroying the opposition. We are disappointed that you went to court. Why did you do such a foolish thing?
අපි කනගාටු වෙනවා.
We can only wonder what type of threats the media had to face when carrying out their duties during your tenure.
ගරජන එන්න ඇද්ද? අපිට ඒකට දැන් සැකයි.
අද එක්සත් ජාතික පක්ෂයේ නායකත්ව මණ්ඩලයට
The UMP Leadership Council has contracted a new disease, that is media phobia. This disease was spread by Mangala Samaraweera. Mangala Samaraweera filed a case in the Mathura court against the heads of media institutions in an attempt to suppress the right of the people to know the truth. The case was dismissed. You cannot engage in politics while clashing with the media. As politicians, we need to realize this.
ෂේප් කරගෙන යන්න ඕනේ මීඩියා එක කොහොම හරි කරගෙන.
Karu Jayasuriya does not understand this. 17 people, including himself, crossed over to the government. He then left his 16 companions behind and came back to the lap of Ranil Wickremesinghe for the position of deputy leader. Mangala Samaraweera is attempting to strangle the private media. He has not filed any cases against the state media, even though they attack him and the UMP.
ආණ්ඩුවේ මාධ්‍යයෙන් එක් සජ්ජාතික පක්ෂයට ගහනවා පැලෙන්න සද්දයක් නැහැ.
Minister of Culture and Arts TB Ekanayaka, speaking in Parliament, said that a program will be implemented from next year to observe marine archaeological sites.
The minister made this comment in response to a question raised by UNP MP Ravi Karnanayaka on what procedures will be undertaken to attract tourism to the country.
It needs to be done in a better way, like in Egypt where there are light and sound shows. What do you have to say to this, Minister?
We have
implemented a program that will commence from next year covering all centres. There was no program for marine archaeology before in the country. We have received 2 vessels from Korea that facilitate diving in Gaul, Kalpitiya, Kudaravana and Maharavana areas. We will receive them in February. We will implement a program in this regard. The program is also in place for divers to explore shipwrecks in the Silk Road.
Well, emotional South Africans said their farewells to Nelson Mandela as the cortege carrying the body of the former South African president made its way through Pretoria to the Union buildings for the second day of lying in state today.
Mandela's body was returned to a military hospital last night after thousands queued to say goodbye to the anti-apartheid hero on the first day of mourning yesterday.
Thousands of people lined the streets as a black hearse carrying Nelson Mandela's coffin left the military hospital, making its way to the official seat of government from the capital's main military hospital. The flag-draped casket was met by officers representing branches of the military. Emotions ran high as people said goodbye to the anti-apartheid hero.
The man who made me who I am this day. I was so happy. I was happy, I was sad at the same time.
He fought for us. We are whom we are because of him. Today we are in the offices because of him. Today we can be able to use computers because of him.
It's not really the end. The spirit is still in our world. So goodbye, Papa.
Cuban President Raul Castro and other foreign dignitaries paid their respects to Nelson Mandela at South Africa's Union Building, perched on a hill overlooking the city. Mahathir Mohamad, Malaysia's long-serving former Prime Minister, was among the first dignitaries to arrive at the building in Pretoria, where the anti-apartheid hero was inaugurated in 1994 as South Africa's first black president. Venezuela's Vice President Jorge Areza, who is the son-in-law of the late Hugo Chavez, presented Nelson Mandela's grandson, Mandela Mandela, with a replica of the sword carried by Simon Bolivar, South America's 19th century independence hero.
The deaf signer at former South African President Nelson Mandela's memorial service at the 95,000-seat Soccer City Stadium in Soweto, Johannesburg on Tuesday has sparked outrage among the deaf community across the world.
Now, deaf viewers at the memorial service said he was signing rubbish and complained he was a fraud. However, speaking to South African media, Thamsanqa Jantije said he suffered a schizophrenic episode. 34-year-old Jantije told South African media he started hearing voices and began hallucinating. During the memorial, he was employed to stand on the stage next to key speakers such as US President Barack Obama and Mandela's grandchildren, translating their eulogies. But he said during the event he lost concentration because of voices in his head. Jantije said he worked for a company called SA Interpreters, hired by the ANC for Tuesday's ceremony. The government is investigating what happened.
You asked, was the most
Incidentally, tributes were paid to former South African President and anti-apartheid revolutionary Nelson Mandela at the Parliamentary Complex today.
He fought for the cause of South African people, people of the African continent, and for the global world community at large. So historians normally place Mandela on par with Gandhi and Abraham Lincoln. In my own view, I place him over both of these personalities.
He brought about genuine reconciliation by the truth being ascertained. And what is the truth was ascertained? It was his view that there was no room for revenge, that there was only room for reconciliation. We convey our deepest condolences over the sad demise of His Excellency President Nelson Mandela.
At this particular time, we mourn the demise of Nelson Mandela, but we have mixed feelings in celebrating the legacy which he left us with. We thank Sri Lanka for the support that you've given us, Speaker, in that the President of your country attended the memorial service. In South Africa, we have never had as many a collection of world leaders and heads of state as we've had this week. And that speaks volumes to the legacy of Nelson Mandela.
On Business News tonight, the All Ceylon Common Fisheries Association staged a demonstration in Galle today, charging that they have been deceived by the budget this year as well.
They point out that the budget had not focused attention on the increase of production costs of fishermen and their cost of living.
The government introduced a special relief program to the fishing community after they staged protest over the increase in fuel prices. However, these fishermen charged that they have not received any relief for several months. The fuel subsidy was only granted for 4 months of this year. There are areas of 8 months. The government is saying that it will be provided. Can the government that failed to provide a fuel subsidy for a month be able to give us a new package? The fishermen will have to anchor their vessels and live in hunger. Furthermore, sugarcane farmers of Sinipura staged a protest opposite the Kantale Divisional Secretariat. The farmers charged that there is an attempt to reclaim lands granted to farmers as compensation after the Kantale sugar factory was closed down in 1994. They had already sent letters to the farming associations not to have any permanent cultivations. They are trying to give the land back to the sugar factory, saying that international companies will start cultivations.
News, it's cricket. All-rounder Shahid Afridi starred in Pakistan's 3-wicket win over Sri Lanka in the first T20 international played between the two countries at the Dubai Stadium yesterday. Winning the toss, Pakistan's keeper invited Sri Lanka to take first lease of the wicket. The Sri Lankan batsman failed to achieve a good start. Matthews was dismissed for 50 runs, while Lahiri Thirumanna managed 23 runs not out to steer Sri Lanka to 145 runs for 5 wickets in their allotted 20 overs. Batting in reply, Pakistan lost Ahmad Shahzad in the 3rd over, but Mohammad Hafiz and Sharjul Khan contributed with 32 and 34 runs respectively. Afridi hit 3 sixers and 2 boundaries to help Pakistan overcome a tough challenge from Sri Lanka, who had taken the match to the final over, with Pakistan needing 6 runs. Afridi scored 39 runs with a 6 off the last ball over paceman Nuwan Kulasekara to give Pakistan a 1-0 lead in the 2-match series. Well, before we wrap up, just a reminder to catch a Vantage Point with Dr. Janjal Ritika soon after the news on MTV Sports.
And that's a wrap of your primetime news. For the Newsfirst team, I'm Nicola D'Zoiza.
And I'm Shanji Rampati. We leave you tonight with a look at the weather forecast for tomorrow.
Take care and good night.
Newsfirst at 9.